Jump and find
Girl.
joy. Joy.
Joy.
I love this
Yep.
word. What is at the heart of this book, and what prompted you to write it?
I think it is that we're all on the cusp of some kind of change.
Yeah.
And I think your options are you jump often
Yeah.
or you get pushed. Those are usually two of the options.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about life, like you've jumped into and out of relationships, into motherhood, into a new location, into and out of things. Like it takes a lot of courage to do it, to make any change. You can keep it the same and you can go all the way to your grave. But for this book, I thought, when I was thinking about leaving the Today Show, I said, that's a huge career jump for me. I wonder who else has done these kinds of things. So you start researching and looking and you're like, wow, there's something each person is doing. And I wanted to put all that in a book. If you're on the verge of thinking, should I?
Yeah.
I'm on the edge, should I? I think this book will kind of be a guidebook and it'll kind of help you find your way.
I think you do say at one point too, if you don't listen, the whisper gets quiet.
Yeah.
So you have to listen.
Yes. And sometimes you wonder, is that a real thing or is that nothing? Like, I know what's over here. It's telling me look over here, but that seems scary. I like it here where it's safe. Yeah.
Last time you found joy?
Last time I found joy was probably the most basic, small thing, which is walking with my kids to school. I think that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like their hands in your hands, the weight of them, you feel it. You walk along and you talk about nothing and everything. And it's a moment that could be fleeting unless you're paying attention to it.
Yeah.
And I think they've opened my eyes. They make me better. They make me, a person who I enjoy. And I believe that feeling is probably like my last brush with joy.
Yeah. So now that you're off the daily news grind, what is the most joyful part of the morning with the girls?
With the girls, it is usually I do have quiet time in the morning, which I also like. Light a candle, do my vibe, scribble, and whatnot. And I think my favorite part of the morning is that I'm the one who wakes them up. So at 6:45, I tiptoe in Haley's room first because Hope likes 5 more minutes. And I kiss her around her face until she wakes up. And when she opens her eyes, she's like, Mama. Like, that never gets old. Then I pop into Hope's room, and she always says the same thing every time I walk in. She goes, good morning, Mama. Snuggle? And I go, yes. So I curl up in her bed with her and hold her until she's ready, and then we get up and get dressed. But, eyes open, and I get to see them, and they see me is my favorite.
This book is a very, it's so uplifting.
Yep.
We need this right now. It
Yep.
also kind of chronicles your life
Yep.
and career.
Yep.
When you talk about your romantic relationships, you call it a sidecar. It was kind of like a sidecar for you throughout your life. Can you kind of explain what that means?
I was always driving, and no one was going to take the wheel but me. And my career was always the closest thing to me, even more so than my romantic relationships. And I think I just said, well, I like to work, and so what? And that's how I am, and blah, blah, blah. And so work always took precedent, always over the relationship. And so I found guys who would tolerate that, who would say, fine. And I would see it as, you do you, you go. But in reality, we were always on parallel paths that weren't crossing. It's like, oh, it's good. But wait, you, me, like,
I get it.
But we didn't have intersections that were important. And I think I was realizing, like, I chose that, but do I really want that? I chose no intersection, but do I want that? And I think after a while you say to yourself, actually, I don't want that.
Yeah.
Like, what? That's not the kind of life I want. I want a life that's rich and full and has all the things, not just a rich work life.
Yeah.
Because you have it too. Look, in your job, you interview everybody. You must come home with a million stories like, oh God, guess who I met? It fills your cup. You learn things.
Yeah.
And then for me at home, it was like, and good night. That was a great good night, honey. I'll see you tomorrow. It was that.
Yeah.
So we weren't connecting.
I get that. You include a quote that's one of my favorites by Maya Angelou. Have the courage to trust, love one more time, and always one more time.
Always one more time.
So,
yes.
Are you back to dating?
I am not back to dating, but I am totally and completely and utterly open.
Great.
So and I don't say if love comes, when love comes, I am me. I'm 100% me now. I think before I was a pleaser. What does he want? What would he like? Should I be like that? And then I thought to myself, like, I've been, you put a circle in a square for so long.
Yeah.
But now I feel very comfortable in my own skin. So I think that's when you're ready. It's
Yeah.
like, and I'm not saying it's not full of compromises. Of course,
Yeah.
I'll do all these things that you like to do that I'm not crazy. Of course.
Yeah.
But I think when I think about my life going forward, my romantic life, I see him, whoever he is. And, I see him in the picture and part of the mosaic. That's this cool family with the kids.
Yeah.
And this suburban life and the
Yeah.
business. Like, there's room. And I feel like I'm slowing my life down, so I'm seeing more like pockets for room. So I'm totally and completely open.
Love. Are there any deal breakers? One deal breaker you're like, it's
Someone who doesn't like kids, obviously.
Obviously, yes,
other than
of
that,
course.
I don't like late. Sorry.
me either.
I don't like late. I feel like late is just
Yeah.
it's a symptom of lots of
Yeah.
things. I just like someone who is
Yeah.
on time.
So for women, there are
Yeah.
so many women and
Yeah.
men
Yeah.
that feel like pressure. It feels like society tells us we have
Yes.
to get married, we have to
Yes.
get kids, and
Gotta.
there's a clock, and we got to do it.
Yeah.
You talk about settling for fine.
Yeah.
What is your advice to people that are perhaps in that moment and thinking, well, should it just be fine?
Yeah. I think fine or it's okay is if that's the life you want, you can have that life.
Yeah.
And I think that's perfectly fine. Sometimes that's it. But I think when you know you deserve more richness, when you know that you deserve someone who can fill your cup completely, when you know what you deserve, I think you keep seeking for that thing. And I
Yeah.
don't think it's the shiny penny. I think it's just understanding your worth. And I
Mm.
think for all of us who've been like, oh, well, I guess that'll do. I
Yeah.
don't think we have to be that way. I think we can look for the thing that we desire, that we dream of, that we hope for.
that is my advice to single women
Is it?
always. People will tell you that you can't have everything
Yeah.
you want. You can.
You can.
You can.
You can.
And if
With
you believe it, I
compromises,
tell Amanda
yes.
that all the time.
Amanda, she's
I
right.
do. I tell her, don't listen to people. You can have everything you want
You can.
in a person.
And like, you will have to make compromises.
Yes.
But so what?
Yes.
It doesn't mean you
But what you
compromise on the
really
big things.
want,
Yeah, the
what
big
you
things.
really want.
Agree.
You-
100.
You talk about your breast cancer
Yep.
story, and you share an important part of it, which
Yeah.
is accepting your post-surgery
Yeah,
body.
that's hard. That's
and
hard.
It's a hard
Yeah,
thing for a
it's hard.
lot of people.
Yeah.
And it
was
was
hard.
actually your friend's aunt
Yeah.
who kind of shook you out
Yeah.
of it.
Anyone who's had a mastectomy knows what the scars look like, and especially if you are dating or thinking about that, the idea of anyone seeing you outside of yourself is something you don't want to think about. And I remember I was in the hospital and a nurse said, well, we have to clean the wounds. And I remembered she did it in front of the mirror. She was behind me and I was looking at myself and she was washing it, and it was horrific. I didn't want to look. I was like, God, what is this? Oh God, I have to walk around with this my whole life. And so one of my dearest friends' aunts, who was older, had breast cancer way back in the day, and she goes, let me see it. I go, what? Let me see it. I want to see it. I go, I'm not showing you. I'm like, what? She goes, come with me in the bathroom. What are you afraid of? And I go, I just don't want to show you. And she goes, so she lifts up her shirt, and she had a mastectomy
Wow.
and no reconstruction. And I was like, she goes, now show me. So I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? I was like in the bathroom. I showed her and she goes, there, was that so bad? And I go, no, oh my God. All of a sudden she gave me the courage to realize, like, that was part of you. That's a part of your body.
Yeah.
It's not you. You can still be sexy and
Yeah.
all the things you want to be,
Yeah.
even with the scars.
Yeah.
You bring them with you.
Yeah.
So what? And when I saw her and the rich life she's living, I'm like, I'm not hiding. I'm not going to hide my whole life.
Right,
Like,
right.
yeah, it made me feel free.
She was your shock absorber.
Yeah,
as
she
you
was.
Call
She was.
them in the book.
Yep.
So Hoda, you haven't been on TV in a while,
Yes.
and we miss you.
I miss
So
you
we want to
too.
get your hot takes on
Okay,
a few
I'm ready.
things.
I'm ready.
One thing you predicted.
Yeah.
Biggest news of 2025. Taylor and Travis got engaged.
Jenna and I did say that, and we do take full credit, but aren't you so happy? Doesn't it
Talk
seem,
about joy.
it just seems like that makes me happy.
Yeah.
It's like love wins.
Yes.
Like these guys have been put under a microscope, and what happened?
Mhm.
Love one. We've seen so many relationships not succeed because the outside world is knocking on the door saying, show me more. Are you sure? Is it real? Look at them.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for them.
Okay, so now that you're psychic, will you predict if she will do the Super Bowl halftime show this year? Because that's what everybody is.
Is everybody rooting for? I'm rooting for that too. I wish I had that crystal ball. I think it'll either be her or Adele.
Oh,
those are my two. Those are my two. Those are my two. Yeah, it's going to be one or the other.
For people that don't know, Hoda has officiated many weddings.
Yes.
So she's got her certificate. She's ready to go.
Ready. She ready.
She ready, as Tiffany would say.
Yeah.
Of course, you know Jimmy Kimmel is returning to TV tonight. Now that you don't get to lend your voice every single day to these topics, do you miss that?
Do I miss it? Yes, in some cases. Like this particular instance, I mean, I don't think I usually weigh in on these kinds of things. I mean, I'm obviously an advocate for the First Amendment because I'm a journalist by trade. But when I think about what's going on in these complicated times, all I keep thinking of is like, can't we all have more grace and more compassion and more openness? And I mean, that's kind of what my book is. That's kind of what I'm about. It's like in this moment, let's do that. Let's find our common sides. Let's share joy. Let's find ways. I feel like this is work. This is like important work, especially now.
Yeah, absolutely. Your girl Jenna, she still doesn't have a partner in crime.
Girl, what are you doing? What is she doing? She needs to get somebody soon. I feel like something's bubbling up.
Well, people really, really would love Sheinelle to take the chair. A lot of fans would like that. What are your thoughts on that, and how proud of you?
By the way, I love Sheinelle Jones so much. I feel like she is a living, breathing beacon of what hope looks like. She is standing there smiling. She is showing, she's like, I'm gonna fight for my joy. Like, I love all of those things. I think she's amazing. I think she'd be great with Jenna. I think they are like, I just saw them a few minutes ago together, and I'm like, y'all are cute. They were like, what are you trying to set us up on a date? I'm like, yeah. But they're very cute together. I think there's something, I think there's a richness and a realness there. I would love that if that happened.
Yeah.